Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about PROGENITY stock, or PROG. It was not the day that we were hoping for, but it did fall under expectations. Again, in my previous video, I was mentioning the risk by the unusual whale alerts. They signaled a few different put options. We'll go over again at the end of the video. Today we got a bullish alert for PROGENITY as well. So it doesn't mean it's all over, guys. Doesn't mean that this squeeze play is done. We're still up tons and tons on the week. I am not worried whatsoever. I don't think anyone else should be worried, but not financial advice. And yeah, guys, if you guys don't mind hitting that like button, subscribing for more, turning on those post notifications, that's always very highly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, peeps. So before we get into the juice of the video, and keep in mind, this is me from the future. This is Hootmoney from the future, and that's why my glasses are off right now, alright? So we'll put the glasses back on, we'll calm down, we'll settle down, and we'll just go over this. So the rest of the video after this point is going to be from my prior knowledge that there was no registration for an offering, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So keep that in mind here. But you guys can see that PROGENITY did file two new forms today, the 424B5 prospectus and the 8K. If we move into this, it says $90 million. We'll quickly read through it. So we entered into an at-the-market issue and sales agreement. And I also apologize to anyone who saw me on stream. I was kind of doing like a live reaction, and I was getting a bit excited. I was getting a bit excited, to say the least. Caused a little bit of FUD. But at least here, I'm here to clear the FUD. So I'm here to clear the FUD. I actually don't think this is extremely bearish, at least for now in the short term. I think that honestly, I think it's good, and the company's on board with what's going on in the share price, in the stock right now. So I think that's actually pretty good. So we've entered into an at-the-market issuance of sales agreement relating to shares of our common stock offered by this prospectus supplement. And then it's going to be up to $90,000, and this is based off of the share price of $4.89. Now, this is not an offering in and of itself. PROGENITY is not going to just dump $90 million worth of stock tomorrow. They can't do that. They have to release an additional filing. So nothing right now is going to cause any type of dilution. So calm your horses, all right? Calm your horses. This isn't dilution, but this means that they can dilute in the future, okay? So they can have another filing come out saying that they're registering an offering, blah, blah, blah. This is just essentially them preparing for the parabolic rise. You can see right here that they mentioned in their plan of distribution that a prospectus supplement or supplements and any related free writing prospectus that we may authorize to be provided to you will describe the terms of the offering of the securities, including to the extent applicable. So essentially they're going to provide a prospectus supplement if they do decide to register, and they also mention that they might not actually even register. So right here they say the company is not obligated to sell, and the agents are not obligated to buy or sell any shares of common stock under the sale agreement. So they don't have to do it. As a result of the $44 million in warrant exercises to date in the fourth quarter of 2021 and other capital raising transactions, management believes that the company's liquidity position prior to any sales of common stock under the sale agreement provides sufficient runway to support achievement of critical research and development milestones for at least the next 12 months. No assurance can be given that the company will sell any shares of common stock under the sale agreement, or if it does, as to the price or amount of shares of common stock that it sells or the dates when such sales will take place. So again, guys, a management believes that the company is in great financial position for at least the next 12 months, and they're saying that they're not obligated and they probably won't be selling, but they're just registering this in case they do want to sell it. No assurance can be given that the company will even sell any shares. And this is all because they are in a great financial position for the next 12 months. And they said that in earnings already, right? They said in their earnings report that they're in a great financial position, at least until Q3 of 2022. So that's why this was kind of hit as a curveball to some people, right? registering for some share dilution. Yes, right off the bat, it seems a little iffy, right? A lot of people get scared by that. It causes a lot of FUD. I was getting scared by it too. Because I missed out that it had to be registered, right? But fact of the matter is the company is in a great financial position, and the reason that they're probably doing this is because they think the stock is going to go up. If they don't think that the stock's going to go up, they would have no reason to register this because they're in a great financial position. How are they going to benefit from diluting shareholders when the stock is actually going down? So they probably think the stock is going to go up. If we look at the after hours movement right here, the initial the initial reaction was a dip down to $3.45. Congrats to anyone who got shares in that region. We're now at $4.15. So it didn't actually make it did a little bit of damage, right? A little bit of damage. We were at $4.50, 46 cents before. We're now at $4.15. So a little bit of damage was done, but in the end, it was not extremely terrible. Now, I always say don't be afraid to take profits when they're on the table, because if this thing does start rocketing up, there's always the chance that they might file to do an offering now. That's always going to be on the back of your mind. So if you do want to sell, you're going to want to beat the company, because once the company does register for an offering, that does mean dilution, and now they can do it, right? They can do it up to about $90 million in stock. It's not going to be exact because it's at the market, but you know what I mean. So if this thing does rocket up, right, you're allowed to sell. You're allowed to do a wash sale. You're allowed to take profits. I always say that you're allowed to take profits. I'm not a sell shamer. But anyways, that is that. Let's get right back into the rest of the video. Sorry, this one's going to be a long one now. All right, so here we have PROGENITY stock on the screen. As you guys can see, this is the trend line that we have been using, and we have found a bouncing point off of it a few times, besides for when we dipped off of it during the spring of the Wyckoff or earnings. And right now, it's looking like it's trending down this way, right? It's looking like it's trending down this way. But what that would mean is that we'd likely get a bounce over at about $4.14, $4.15, which is not too terrible. I mean, for some people, yes, that's horrible. You don't want to see it. It also would mean that we gave up most of these gains that we saw on Friday. But in terms of the overall longer term trend right here, it is still looking absolutely fantastic. And this just shows you guys, I mean, there's no reason to not take profits when this thing diverts away from the trend. Maybe you do miss out on the squeeze when it does come, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, you could have sold over here, bought back in here, do what you want with your money. I can't tell you what to do, but you know, there is that wash sale rule, so you can potentially accumulate more shares of PROGENITY. And let me tell you guys, I'd rather one of you guys sell here and buy more back in over here if you make a smart trade than some hedgies scooping up some shares. So I'd rather you guys do that. I'd rather you buy or sell at the top and just accumulate more shares when this thing is dropping, right? And that makes more sense to me, makes more sense to you. All right, shake our hands. We're good to go. Thank you guys very much for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, we had a massive, what seemed like a bit of a manipulated day. I mean, again, if we go over here, you can see that the search volume on PROGENITY was a bit higher as of this morning. It actually peaked out at about 4 a.m. Over here on Friday, it peaked out a little bit lower. But, I mean, given that there was still demand on this stock coming into this morning, we got to switch this over to the minute candles. You guys can see that we actually were pumping up pretty significantly at market open. And then I don't know what happened. We got a little bit of a double top pattern, but we peaked out at about $5.23, which is not bad at all. People were excited, but it did come at a cost. I mean, look at this MACD. Absolutely weird, absolutely crazy MACD. Nothing makes sense. Funky stuff. Manipulation. We had a fireside chat that started at about 10 a.m. right here, lasting about 30 minutes till about 10:30. That's when it was put out there as a pre-recorded conference. They did mention that they're going to give more news on that the partnerships on 11:30, so that is good news. Then we got a little bit of a rally into the end of the day, which was met with a nice little sell-off. I don't know if this is necessarily over, but there was that put option sell, which we're going to have to get into in a bit at the $4 strike price. So a whale does not think this is getting below $4 a share, which is honestly fantastic news. Fantastic news. $4 a share is a pretty high price for this stock, with all things considered. I mean, just look, we can do the box technique real quick. Throw on that rectangle, boom. I mean, if we go down to $4 per share, and that would be the minimum as said by that alert. Not too much price action. Could have really shorted. You could have maybe shorted back here, but you're paying that huge cost to borrow. But pretty much all shorts at this point are coming down. There's something else I want to talk about with shorts, because there has been increased amounts of short covering, which is also being met with new shorts coming in, a trade of hands per se, which could be bringing up the cost basis of shorts currently, which may in fact actually bring in more leverage. But again, like I said before, I invite shorts to short this stock because longer term, I really do think this thing is going to come up. It's got a lot of good news going for it. And yeah, that's that. We can look at the options chain right here. The November 26, 2021 options chain is actually being built out quite decently right here. I mean, you can see about 9,000 right here at the 4.5, 14,000 at the 5, and then 14,000 at the 5.5. So we have built out a little bit of a gamma ramp for this week. Obviously, it's not as insane as last weekend or last week by any means, but with these weeklies, we're building out these gamma ramps, and that could be a good thing for positive price action. But at the end of the day, if these things do end up expiring worthless, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks for us holders, because that's money that could be going towards stocks, could be going towards actually forcing these shorts to cover and taking shares away from these short sellers. So gambling degenerates, you can make some money, but you might lose it, and it'll hurt the squeeze in the long run. Anyways, guys, if you wanted to check out this charting software, this is WeBull. You can check it out using the links in the description or in the pinned comment section. It's on iOS, Android, and your desktop computers as well. As you guys saw, it's an amazing charting software. It has pretty much everything. It has all the technical indicators that you need, level 2 data, option chains, news articles, financial statements, analyst ratings, yada, yada, yada. You know the deal. I absolutely love it for analyzing stocks. I use it each and every single day, even on weekends, because I'm an absolute nerd and I look at stocks on weekends. Yeah, sue me. Anyways, if you guys wanted to check it out, they're giving away up to $2,300 in free stock as long as you deposit 1 penny on their platform. So check it out, link below in description or pinned comment section. But let's get right back into the video. So here we have this new technical analysis software. You have not seen this in any of my other videos, but I think it's pretty cool. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So don't just think of it as, I don't know. Think of it as a drawing, just an art form. Just this is art right here. Right here is art. Don't think anything much of it. It's just there to be provocative, to be tasty and delicious. Anyways, these actually do have meaning, each and every one of these signals. What was really interesting to me is obviously we came up here at market open, right? 4 a.m. Again, guys, this just shows the demand in this stock. People placed their buy orders over the weekend. This thing got up to about 520 in pre-market right here. And then we get these yellow X's right here at around 8 a.m. 8 a.m. is also when retail tends to wake up in the morning. These yellow X's signal manipulation, right? So when there's manipulation in a stock, these yellow X's start printing on the stock. Then again, we got a nice little pump here up to about 520 as market opened, right? So again, that just shows that there is demand. When the most eyes were on the market, this thing was pumping up, correct? Got it? Great. All right. So here you can see more of these yellow X's here. Now, this yellow X started at 10:07. This is right when that fireside chat actually was released. So that PROGENITY fireside chat that I was talking about that came out today, that was released, and it just so happened to end around 10:40. So that's when the manipulation started to end in PROGENITY, and it caused this huge cash outflow as signaled by the this red little bubble right there. this signals that cash is flowing out of PROGENITY, which means that support levels get blasted through much easier. So we were seeing support levels get blasted through with the red cash outflows. And just to show you how it is on Friday, when there's more cash inflows on these green levels right here, it's easier to break through these support levels. So we were going over what everything means on these this market cipher reading right here on stream. It is what it is. It's better technical analysis. I literally bought it because I don't feel like doing technical analysis. I'll have a software do it for me. And with that, we just got a bunch of weird manipulation X's, and it just so happened to be when that fireside chat was released. So I just wanted to bring that up for you guys right now real quick. You guys can also see we're obviously still on this threshold security list with all the failure to delivers that are going on because of that 11/19 expiration. It's gonna get very, very interesting throughout this week. And I say this because where are the shares? I don't know where these shares are. Where can I find these shares? I bought the stock. I deserve to own the stock. How do I even know if my shares are real? What is real? What is real in PROGENITY? It's just absolutely ridiculous, but this is the world that we're living in, right? BBIG still on this list. PROGENITY still on this list. AGC now still on this list. Absolutely insane. BTBT. These stocks are just getting absolutely shafted with essentially just fake shares. Coming over here, short squeeze leaderboard, we're number 2 on Fintel, but that doesn't really mean too much. Going over to the Ortex data, I wanted to show you guys that we're getting a lot of return shares now. We got 4 million as of today. That means that right here as of Thursday, a lot of return shares were returned, which shows my point. Last week, I was saying this whole region right here and right here were accumulation days. And right here, we get 4 million return shares. On Friday, we get about 7 million return shares. So shorts are starting to cover. Now, utilization is still at 100%. I also wanted to show you that the average age on loan is coming down just a bit, not too much. We'll go to the 3-month chart so you guys see what's actually been going on. Average age on loan is still going up overall, but we did get it to drop down from 27 days on loan to about 24 days on loan. So there has been a little bit of a change in hand in terms of the shorts, which brings up the cost basis. So beforehand, I was thinking that this thing was probably mostly shorted around like the $1 to $2 range right here. It's probably coming up a little bit, right? Because old shorts are getting out, new shorts are getting in. There has not been a short squeeze as of yet, but new shorts are shorting this at higher prices. So the average cost is probably coming up closer towards the $3 range at this point, $2.50 to $3 range, just because of those change in hands. I can't say that with 100% confidence because we don't get the data for that, but that is just based on my intuition right now. That is what it's looking like. The other thing very, very notable is, again, we went over this already, but Thursday there was about 7 million new shorts taken out around these levels right over here. So there was a bunch of return shares, but there was also a bunch of new shares taken out. So right over here, so anywhere from a low of about $4 per share to a high of about $4.61 per share, there was a lot of shorting, right? And we're pretty much above that level if we're just taking where we are right now. There was barely any price action from Thursday that could have actually made money. We don't know if they actually shorted that stock, but if we're sitting at the current levels, they're still in not the best position. And I assume that if we do actually come down towards this line, they'll likely buy that up greatly. Considering what happened on Friday, we got a nice spike. So that is something to look out for. We have the call options. Tomorrow would be the T+2 settlement. So I don't know. I mean, I can't say for certain, but with all that being said, maybe there will be a bit more buying pressure as of tomorrow. I don't want to make you guys any promises right off the bat. Here we have the Fintel. As you guys can see, 62% cost to borrow. There actually isn't too much to go over here on Fintel. About 100,000 shares available to be shorted as of 18 minutes ago. So they keep finding shares from somewhere. It's saying on Ortex that it's 99.91. It's basically been saying that. I still think they have shares, honestly. I'm not convinced, but at least they're still paying that hefty cost to borrow. And if the stock price goes up, they're eventually going to have to cover that. Same with the failure to deliver. Same with any illegal naked shorts that are likely on the stock. Right here, I wanted to go over the institutional ownership of PROGENITY because there has been a lot of of FUD around Ethereum right now. A lot of people think that Ethereum sold their position, and I honestly don't believe it. I just don't believe it. And I'll show you guys right now. As you guys can see right here, Ethereum filed this 13D/A on August 27th, saying they had about 73 million shares. This would put them at about a 47% ownership. Now, the stock has issued more shares since then. There's been dilution since August, obviously. So that's why that's sitting at 47% instead of over 50%. Now, the likely scenario for this is that they would have accumulated more shares in order to maintain 51% ownership. Now, there was a recent 13F, as stated right here. You guys can see where it says there's 36 million shares. So people were like, oh, did they sell? There was also a Bloomberg terminal saying, again, 36,396,907 shares owned by Ethereum Capital Management. And that was filed right like last week on 11/15. So people thought Ethereum did sell half of their position. And I'm here to basically bust that theory, because Ethereum likely did not sell. As you guys can see, they also filed a 13F as of 8/16/2021. And this was before, if we scroll back up here, this was before, this was on this one right here, the 13D/A on August 27th, 2021. So this one right here was filed before, and it has the exact amount of reported shares right here. They actually did acquire some shares, as it looked like in August, but it didn't look like they did anything since then. So I don't think they actually did acquire shares. I think what's actually going on is that they are listed under multiple different entities. If we scroll back up here, we can click on insiders, and it shows all the insiders of this company. And Ethereum has multiple different entities, so it could be split up between capital management, capital holdings, funds holdings. It could be anything. I think their shares are split up amongst multiple different entities. I do not think they sold, and I do think they still maintain 51% ownership. That is just my opinion based off of what I just showed you on Fintel. You can have your own opinion, but again, guys, I just don't think that they gave up 51% ownership. I think that is just some absolute FUD. Here we have the options flow as of today. You might see, oh, put options. These were actually part of a multi-leg strategy, which ended up being pretty bullish. It was a straddle right here where you buy a call option, you buy a put option, same strike price, same amount of each. So we can look at the profit loss of this straddle right here, and it's actually a very, very bullish strategy. They limit their downside risk by buying those puts, but they still have unlimited upside in PROGENITY stock if this thing does squeeze and go to the moon. So this was actually a bullish strategy, believe it or not, even though it says that there was a bunch of $7.50 puts being bought on PROGENITY. The rest of the flow was pretty bullish. There was a few puts that were snuck in under the cracks, the $5 12.17, the $4 121, and then the $4 2022, and that one's all the way in July. If we look over here at the call option volume, it came down again today. There was less volume on the stock today, and that's likely why it did come down. I'm not too worried. It can come right back up. As you guys can see right here, Monday it was at a low, and then boom, it rocketed up to an insane number as of Tuesday. So it's all relative to what's happening on a day-to-day basis. If it's going lower now, that's a higher chance of it going back up in the future. The biggest option trades of the day, the highest one was a cross trade, so this is for liquidity reasons. I wouldn't be too concerned with this. The next one was the $7.5 put option that was bought for $290K premium. You can find this one right here. It was also a multi-leg strategy. This is likely the caller strategy for someone who probably does own a lot of the stock. This could be Ethereum. This could be another major whale. But what basically this strategy is, when the stock price goes up, you own the underlying stock. You sell a call option at whatever strike price it is, so you can essentially lock in gains there, but you also buy put protection in case the stock price does go down. The profit and loss is mapped out right here. It looks like you'd lose a lot of money if this thing does start rocketing up, but if you do actually own the underlying, which I suspect that they do, and that's what they would be doing in a caller strategy, you would not be actually losing this much money as you own the underlying, and if the underlying goes up, then it basically cancel out the losses. So it is a net bearish strategy, but usually people do a collar because they want to hold on to their shares. So that is bullish in and of itself. So the only one that really would have concerned me on this biggest option trade list is buying of the put option. But like I said, that was likely a collar strategy, and they likely do own the underlying stock, or else they're just giving themselves unlimited risk in PROGENITY, which they're probably not doing if they're dropping 290K on this stock. They probably own the underlying. The hottest option chains on the day were the $5 11.26, the $5.50 11.26, and the $4.50 11.26. All call options, all pretty short dated, and yeah, lots of open interest in these. And you can see that the 12.17s in particular have a massive amount of open interest. And guys, 12.17, we're gonna get another prog week, so get ready, mark your calendars. It's gonna be amazing. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys did, drop a like on the video, subscribe for more content, hit the post notifications down below. We go live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, so be there or be square. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get it, baby. PROGENITY, baby. We might be dipping down a little bit more, but that's okay. I don't care. It looks bullish from here on out, and going below $4 a share seems a lot less likely as of now. So I'm excited with PROGENITY. Everything is going according to plan. We've got a short week this week, only 2 more full trading days, and then on Friday we've got a half day. Market closes at 1. I'm gonna try to be here on Friday. I'm gonna be here definitely tomorrow and the next day on Wednesday and Tuesday, but Friday might be a little bit tricky because of Thanksgiving and all that, but I'm gonna try my hardest to get here and stream that as well. So thank you guys so much. Drop a like before you guys leave, and I'm out. Peace.